If you're new here, my name's Joey, and I used to be a full-time content creator, and this is just a channel where I yap. It's just like a video diary about me digging into VTuber culture and digging back into like becoming a content creator again, like a full-time content creator again. I hope you're ready, because this is gonna be a good one? Sure. Let's be optimistic here. So I saw some discussion about this on socials, and I thought it bore a little bit of discussion here because I've got some feelings about it. So for some reason, it seems like there are some people who have this understanding that Seiso content is immediately not Lewdtubing or not lewd content, and vice versa. If content is not Seiso, it must be lewd. And I disagree with that very fucking heavily. Seiso is Japanese for like shiny, and it basically just kind of means like clean. It's like if you're making Seiso content, you're making clean content. You're making content that is like squeaky clean. But Seiso content it's all ages content, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people really want that. For some people, that's exactly what they're looking for. And then Lewdtubing, I doubt that I really need to explain that much, but it's this idea of very sexualized VTuber activities. Whether we're talking about just doing stuff on Twitch, so streaming to help prop up a Fansly account or something like that, where you're selling not safe for work content. If you're new here, I'm very ace, right? I'll totally make some like goonie kind of jokes on stream sometime. Porcelain Mate is very much the same way. He's very ace, but he makes some goon ass jokes sometimes. I think that there's, especially when it comes to femme VTubers, there's a lot of pressure, it seems like, that you kind of either need to commit to Seiso content, or you need to go down the path of Lewdtubing. If you want to do the Lewdtubing thing, hey, more power to you. But I think where I take issue is when people start feeling pressured to. Whenever people start feeling like that's the thing that they need to do in order to kind of get ahead. And again, if you want to, I wish you nothing but the best. But the other thing is that carries over to all VTubers in some respect, I think. As far as I've seen, there's always like a little bit of an expectation that either you're going to be making Seiso content, or you're going to be making just incredibly raunchy content. And it doesn't have to be one or the other. My mind is blown at how much people try to shoehorn content creators into this weird little duality. And when I say I've seen creators feel like they're being pushed to do that, I never feel like there's an explicit thing. I mean, maybe I've seen some folks like screenshotting DMs on Twitter and stuff like that, where they're trying to expose that they got pressured to start you to Lewdtubing or whatever. But for the most part, I think the creators that I've seen kind of go down that path seemed to have done so without prompting from anyone in particular. So it didn't seem like there was anyone in their community specifically that was like, hey, I'll give you money for nudes or whatever. But they felt pressured to. Despite the fact that there was no external pressure or anything like that, there was no one explicitly saying, hey, you should do this thing. They felt like that was the only option. And it goes beyond that. It goes to like, again, I really feel like gooner content is very much the same thing, where this is just me personally, like, I feel as though I've been under a lot of pressure to make very goonery jokes and stuff like that. From time to time I'll push back and be like, I'm not really feeling it or whatever. And again, that's not because of anything explicit that anybody said. It's not because I'm like just trying to chase the keywords that are going to get monetized or whatever, because I know that conversation's not going to do well on YouTube. And it's probably not really going to do well on TikTok. Maybe it's because of the tone that's being set by the larger creators in the space. Maybe that's it. Maybe not. I also don't think it's reasonable for me to assert that the decisions that I make in content creation are because of the decisions that someone else is making in content creation. I don't feel like that's fair. I don't feel like that's reasonable. I don't feel like that's sane. But still, I see a lot of people that have trouble differentiating. Yeah, it kind of goes back to this weird thing where I used to have a friend who, like, the moment that he first could, he really was into adult movies. The harder the rating, the better. I remember talking to him about it one time. We were like in our 20s. He would only watch movies that had adult theming in one way or the other. He made it quite clear that he was not really interested in the plot of those movies. He was not really interested in what those movies brought to the table creatively. He truly just was interested in the curse words and the adult theming, whatever that adult theming was. And I don't get it. I've never gotten it, but I have seen like a minority of people out there that are quite vocal in the belief that if it's not Seiso, it should be as raunchy as you can tolerate. I think what's wild to me is the fact that that mentality tends to not come with the self-awareness of like, maybe this is a minority mindset or whatever. It's just, it seems like it's always like, well, that's just the way it is. If it's not say so, it's gotta be as dirty as you can make it. I don't understand. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there and make my thoughts on it clear. I will probably at some point, I made this video in part to kind of refer back to it if the topic comes up, because it does come up sometimes. And I just think, I just want people to be able to do what they want. That's it. And like, if somebody's making content and it's not for you, just go find some other content. There's plenty of Vaporeons in the sea. I'm not even going to end the video on a sign off. I'm just going to leave it with that. Bye.